So I would like to explain about our introduction. The first one is construction industry is one of the industries that play important role in developing and enhancing economic sector and the development of one's country. The second one is the major impact of the construction activities on the environment, in which the dust generation from machinery, air pollution, land pollution, waste generation and noise pollution. Next, construction technology refers to collection of innovative tools, machinery, modifications and software and many more. And the last one is innovative tools such as drone software, data collection, apps and more tools have their own problem, thus can affect and lead to pollution.
Pollution is an issue that the construction industry cannot ignore. The main types of pollution you need to be aware of are air, water and noise. If you don't put precautionary measures in place to manage harmful waste, it can directly affect site employees and people living nearby. This includes causing irreversible damage to their health with a concerning link between pollutant and cancer. As construction activities are a large contributor to air pollution, organizations within the sector have a shared responsibility to limit the amount they produce. Therefore, you need to have an awareness of the emission your work activities create and take precaution to limit the harmful impact. Use of vehicle on site and land clearing are some of the common construction activities that contribute to air pollution. Heavy machinery and other vehicles on site operate on diesel engines that release pollutant into the air. This includes the gases carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide and hydrocarbon. Land clearing, on the other hand, produces high level of dust when land is disrupted and existing building is demolished. Some of the mitigation measures that reduce the production of dust is dust screen and spraying water. Dust screen that enclose the building under construction and provide a solid barrier around the site, enclosing the material hose and debris cut within the dust screen during construction. Use water sprays or sprinkles to control some of types of dust and stop it spreading. This will be particularly beneficial during tasks such as filling of skips or breaking down of concrete. Moreover, adopt hybrid technology in place of diggers and excavator with diesel engines. For example, Volvo is currently trialing a prototype hybrid excavator that runs on electric power generated from the downswing of its bomb arm.
Right, so these are the construction waste production. Construction waste projects often generates waste from the use of natural resources. The volume of waste produced by construction and demolition activity is the major thing. Surveys conducted in several countries found that around 20 to 30% of total waste entering landfills throughout the world. Waste production at construction sites has increased exponentially throughout the globe. So construction waste can be categorized into three types. For the first one, we have the typical or ordinary construction waste, such as natural stone, sand, mortar, and glass. And then we have the non-dangerous materials such as plastic, rag, wood, cardboard, and etc. And lastly, we have the dangerous materials or special industrial waste such as paint, treated wood with heavy metal oxides, and asbestos. Okay, so this problem needs to be come up with a solution so that the construction waste will not produce more pollution to the environment. So a solution to waste production needs to be come out. Okay, so there are options available in terms of reusing and recycling materials, and also the reducing the amount of waste produced. Okay, through proper planning, it may be able to eliminate a certain percentage of building waste. Okay, for example, in this video, it shows that the process and the engineering technology that can be used in order to recycle or reduce or reuse the material. Okay, so we have the special segregation system, debris handling system, and then multiple screening system, material washing and sand washing, and then we have water management system. Okay, so all these technologies are used to recycle the waste production from construction system. Okay, and the main thing is that this waste production needs to be recycled, recovery, reuse, and reduce.
All these buildings are made from natural resources, but the video shows that how it was ended. So now I will show you what we should do from the natural resources product waste.
Taller than the Shard, the highest building in Europe. That makes it the UK's biggest contributor to waste generation and dwarfs the amount of household waste. Nowadays, almost 90% of construction and demolition waste is diverted away from landfill, which is good progress. Recycling involves a lot of transportation and processing. Can we find ways to shortcut all of that and directly reuse materials? Existing buildings contain a wealth of useful materials, but when they're demolished, it turns to waste. If we collect information about these materials early enough and share it online, we could create a system to connect materials with people who can use them, become available. This could be submitted along with all the other planning permission documents, and the data could be combined to make an interactive map of available materials. People would be able to search for things they need and agree on a deal. Materials no longer become waste. A market for reuse would soon start to develop. It's not just about one building. It's about seeing beyond waste and improving the whole way we go about regenerating our cities.
And now, I will show you the buildings that was made from waste product, which is recycled and reused item.
Okay, so for the third current issues on the construction project development is the contamination of land and water. As we know, construction activities make use of a set full of pollutant fluids that can damage the lands, the pavement, and also the surface water. Direct evacuation to the sewage system is prohibited because it can cause damage to the pipes and the treatment plants. Things like paint, solvents, oils, and washing water from the construction are the example of the dangerous product that I mentioned earlier. Other than that, waste paint, varnish, and oil can directly seeping into the ground, causing pollution to the soil and also to the groundwater. So this will lead to cause a damage to our environment and also cause a damage to the marine life or aquatic life. We all know that most construction materials are a mixture of a set full of elemental minerals that can tend to contaminate the soil as well as polluting the water. So this is kind of big a problem that engineers need to face this day. So what can we do to solve this problem? What kind of modern engineering technology can we use to solve this problem? We suggest the retention basin system. Retention basins are predominantly used for stormwater control and treatment, but it can also be used by the engineer this day to solve the problem that were caused by the waste material product of construction. Firstly, the contaminated water is stored in a pond, which further filters through the sediments and soil columns and in the process recharge the aquifer. Due to the flow of water through the soil, water gets treated naturally before reaching the aquifer. It will essentially remove all the nutrients and unwanted substance in the water that comes from the construction waste, like I said earlier, like oil, the varnish, the water paints, and all of it. This water from the retention basin later can be used in irrigation, industry, or at household level after an appropriate secondary treatment. Okay, so as the conclusion, for all this problem and solution above, it's all back to the role of engineers in society, which is related to ethics and professionalism and also their responsibility. As a result, engineer services must be based on honesty, impartiality, fairness, and equity, as well as a commitment to the public's health, safety, and welfare. Engineers must adhere to a professional code of conduct that compels them to follow the highest ethical standard. Other than that, engineers are required to uphold the highest level of honesty and integrity as members of this profession. Engineering has a direct and significant impact on everyone's quality of life. I think that's all from my team. Thank you.